To assemble your purse, the first thing you'll need to do is grab your 3 granny squares and fold them diagonally in half like this with the right side facing out. When you have the 3 pieces folded, this is what the shape of the purse will look like. And what you'll need to do is start working on the inside and do slip stitches all around to seam it together. So grab your crochet hook and your yarn that you're going to use to seam it together. I'm going to use the same gold color. Make a slip knot. Insert it into the corner and the other corner of your second piece. Go ahead and slip stitch into there. Once you've slip stitched the 2 corners together, you'll start working in the loops that are on the outside. So for the first granny square, it'll be the front loop, and the other granny square is the back loop. I'll take those 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through into a slip stitch. So let's do that again. Find your 2 next stitches. You're going to take this loop first, and then the other loop furthest away from you, and slip stitch. Again, you can see where the loops are, the stitches, and you take that front loop for the first granny square and the back loop and the second granny square and pull through into a slip stitch. Again, find the front loop and the back loop and slip stitch together. Continue this all the way to the next corner. I'll show you what we do at the corner. Remember, you should be working on the wrong side of both of the granny squares when you do your slip stitches. So I've completed slip stitching all through the wrong side up till the corner. And here you can see I still have the 2 corners to work on. So grab your hook, place it through that corner, and slip stitch into it. I like to chain 1 to give it a little extra space, and then we'll continue on, making sure that you're grabbing the right loops as you go around so that you have the proper count. This is the way it's looking so far. Just on the back side here, and this should be what you have. We just completed this corner here, and we're starting to work up to start seaming this side here. So once you get that, then you'll again work on the wrong side, and then you'll add this granny square to this side of your purse. So continue along, seaming this end here together. Completed both sides of these 2 granny squares. I'm now right side out. You can see where I've ended. I have not yet put these 2 corners together because I want to show you this is going to be attached next. So I'm going to put these 2 together using a slip stitch, and then I'm going to do another slip stitch to this side so that the 3 sides all come together. First, turn your work back inside out, and the next granny square as well. So now they're inside out. Go ahead and go through the 2 corners here. I'm going to chain 1 these 2 corners. So your middle granny square corner, and then the now 3rd granny square corner, going to attach like that. And then you're going to do the same thing where you slip stitch each stitch around. So start on the front loop for the granny square closest to you, and then the back loop. And go ahead and continue slip stitching all the way around, all the way till you get to the next corner. I'll meet you when we get to that corner. I've now made it to the last corner here. I'll go ahead and slip stitch into both granny square corners. Chain 1 and slip stitch again, and then go ahead and start on the 2 stitches doing your slip stitch in the back loop. Continue that all the way down till you get to your final corner, which is where you'll attach the 3 sides together. I've made it to the final corner. First, I'm going to go in through the middle granny square and then up through that 3rd one we attached. Do a slip stitch, chain 1, and then attach that second one or that 3rd one to the first across the way here like that. Fasten off. Turn your work inside out, and this should be what you have. The next thing we're going to do is crochet the straps. Now you could also purchase some straps and attach them if you'd like. The way I'm going to do this is I will attach yarn here, and into these 4 stitches plus the corner is where I will crochet the straps onto. I'll slip stitch here, chain until it's as long as I'd like it, and then attach it to here, and then I'll slip stitch over to this stitch and crochet across again, and then I'll do corner and crochet across back to this way, and then I'll slip stitch into this one, come over here, and then slip stitch into this 4th one and go over one last time and attach it to here to fasten off. Go ahead and make a slip knot with your yarn, slip stitch into that 2nd double crochet in the corner. Again, you have your 1, 2, 3, 4 plus the corner. Those are the 4 in corner that we're going to work into. And go ahead and chain, be as long as you'd like your strap. So I made my 90 chains. I could wear it across my body. Once you've completed your chain, make sure that it is not twisted. With the right side facing you, Slip stitch into that second double crochet on this side of the corner, and then slip stitch into that next double crochet right before the corner. Now you'll have to turn your work a little bit so that you're able to work into the chain stitches. You can start crocheting into each of the chains that you created. Go ahead and do your single crochet all the way to the strap of your bag for a total of about 90 stitches if that's how long you made your strap. And this is what it should look like. Again, we're going to go all the way to the other side, and when we get to here, we're going to do the same thing where we slip stitch into this double crochet, and then we'll slip stitch into the corner next. Made it all the way to the end of your last chain. Go ahead and go into that next double crochet, slip stitch into it, slip stitch into that corner space, turn, start crocheting all the way back down your strap. Get you when you get to the other side. So I went ahead and finished this side, and I'm headed back over to this side now, working on this next double crochet, slip stitch into it. Then the final one for this side, slip stitch into that second double crochet, turn your work, and start single crocheting all the way across your strap, and this should be your last side. And again, I did not show you, but I did end up slip stitching into that double crochet, so I again have this last double crochet to go into, and that'll be the end of the strap. I'm coming up to the last stitch now. You can see that's where I already went into, and now I have this one to go into. I'll slip stitch into that, and then you can fasten off. Of course, you'll need to weave in all your ends. This is what you should have, and the next step is adding the front flap if you wanted to. It's an optional thing, but basically you have your fourth piece here, and you would seam it just like you did before onto the back, leaving the front flap, and then making a little, putting a button right here so that you can be able to attach it to the front and close your purse. Now there's many ways you could make this bag. You could even go with the front flap cover, just like this, and then all that's missing is a little button that you can attach. You can keep it three-sided like I have here, where basically you just have 3 granny squares attached and you have an open purse. If you want to go really simple, you only make 2 granny squares and you can attach the sides. I like to do a slip stitch along the edges, and then I did the strap a little differently this time. Instead of chaining and coming around this side, I went ahead and did single crochet in rows going this way, whereas in the strap that I just showed you, we chained a long chain of 90 and attached it to the edge, and then did single crochet back and forth.